Okay, hello everyone. We are now continuing with the beautiful, deep, brilliant, holy mimer of the Rebbe. And who is this Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai? Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai. And we explain the Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, he basically revealed the essence, not just the soul, but the godliness in the Torah, and from that, the whole entire world. And that's the job of the Jewish people. It's very easy to be a Jew for other reasons, wonderful reasons. Judaism has levels and levels of meaning to it, and to the point where a person could just be a Jew because he loves the organization, because he loves the rules, or a little bit deeper, maybe he wants to go to heaven, he wants to. But the essence of Judaism is, at least according to Chabad Chassidut and according to Abraham, the first Jew, that Chabad wants to continue his message into the world, is to reveal the truth in this physical world, to reveal godliness, to reveal to every human being that they're being created by God with a purpose, and it comes from God's essence, and also whatever the responsibility. The biggest gift God gives everybody is responsibility, and what to do with this responsibility, what to do, how a person can feel the Creator, feel how important the creation is, and to use the Torah in order to improve the creation. That's why we're created. That's why the world was created. That's why we're here. That's why we're alive. And that's what Rabbi Shimon did. Rabbi Shimon revealed the connection between the Torah and God and the Jewish people and the world, to bring the godliness into the Torah through the Jewish people and for the whole entire world. And that's, of course, the idea of Mashiach. Mashiach is going to be a person that will reveal the truth. This is what Abraham began doing about 4,000 years ago, and finally we've come to the generation where it's going to happen. And Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, without him, it couldn't be done. To the point where, like the Arizal says, that a rabbi that doesn't know at least a little bit of the secrets of the Torah, the inside of the Torah, he'll just destroy the world. That's what it says, destroy the world. That's from the generation of the Haflaga, the generation that they built the Tower of Babel. They just made separation and division in the world. But a person who knows and understands the secrets of the Torah, at least delves into it, he can bring unity and blessing into the whole world. So that's the ideas of Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai. Now let's explain this a little bit. Because that Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai was not a normal person like we were. He was not a normal person like we were. Huh? Not even like, no. Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai was the Jewish counterpart to Superman. Like Moshe. He was a person, looked like everybody else. But the fact of the matter is that his true identity was totally something else. Totally something else. And just as the Superman in the cartoons, he could go through walls, he could see through walls, he could do this. So the idea of Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai was to see through all the lies and the false impressions that we can get from this world, to reveal the truth in this world. How do they say in America? They used to say, I remember, truth, justice in the American way. It says truth, justice, and Hashem's way. Right? To reveal to the whole world. 7 Noahide commandments for the non-Jews, 613 commandments for the Jews. and all in order to make this world a working, healthy, running place. Like there's another mimer, it says, Machatzti v'anirpa, that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai came to take away the mechitza. The machatzti means, it's one of the things in Ha'azinu, one of the statements, that he came to heal the world, huh? Machatzti v'anirpa says, God says, I made sick and I will heal. And this, he says, this refers to the whole entire world. The word mechitza also means a separation. So the Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai came along to heal the separation in this world between the creation and the creator. This world, we don't see that there's a creator to the world. We don't see that there's a reason for the creation. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai came with the book, the Zohar, to explain why God did this thing, why he concealed himself, and namely because the revelation of God is too true for this world, and to fix this world up so we can't accept that truth. Okay, let's go. You with me? Now it says that the pupils of Rabbi Shimon, because Rabbi Shimon was totally a different type of human being, and he was connected to a totally different type of reality than everybody else was, even different than the Tanaim, these great rabbis that were his pupils. So they had to praise him in order to evoke, to bring out from him these secrets that he knew. And one of the praises that they made was they called him Shabbat. And another one praise that they made him, praise that they called him the face of God. Adon Panei Hashem. 3 times of the year you have to go to Jerusalem to see the face of God. And his pupils said, who is the face of God? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Of course, this was after the temple was destroyed. Vav. Okay, good? I think we did this, but I would like to do it again. Alpi calls Kalanal. According to all this, and now we can understand Gam Zesha Shvachim Shoyim Meshabchim as Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. The praises that they were praising Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai that was brought in this mimer. This whole mimer is based on a mamar from the Rebbe Marash, the 4th Rebbe of Chabad. In order to order et hashafa, in order to arouse. Right? Again, we're on paragraph Vav. We're redoing it. Paragraph Vav. The mimer is called Mimerim in the book of the Rebbe Mimerim Mukotim, and the mimer is called Lahavin Inyan Shel Rebbe Shimon Bar Yochai. It is on page Shin Aleph. So now we can understand why Rebbe Yehuda praised Rebbe Shimon in these 2 ways. Why didn't he say, Rebbe Shimon, you are so smart, you are so great? Why did he have to praise him and say, you are Shabbat and you are the face of God? Why these 2 praises? He said, you are Shabbat, Oman Penei of Adon Avaya. Who is the face of God? This is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Ki, B'shvachim Elu, and these praises, Murumaz, is hinted, Hamshachas Elyon, a drawing down from a higher level, Shemuvd al Ma'erech, that it is qualitatively a whole totally different dimension, to draw down from a higher dimension, Lamata, into this dimension. V'yateru mizu, and even more, Shamshacha Yal Yedei Avodat Tachton, it is by means of our work in this world. Okay, we asked the question before. How can it possibly be, if Rabbi Shimon was on a totally different level, that they could arouse him? Anything they did was to arouse. How could they do it? So the answer is because God set up the world that he wants this world to be fixed up. And Rabbi Shimon's, all of his knowledge was only in order to give to the lower levels, but the lower levels had to be ready for him. Right? This is, it's like revealing a 3-dimensional thing in a 2-dimensional picture. Right? Right. That's right. How do you, but even, that's right, ready, there's 2 things. the audience wants to hear your message, and number two is that they're really able to. They're really able to, right? A small child walks up to a weightlifter and says, "Teach me how to lift up, how to deadlift 1,000 pounds." Too big, he can't do it, right? The child wants to, but he's not able to. It says, so therefore, by them praising him, this aroused in him, first of all, the ability to give over to them, to teach them, and it also aroused in them the ability to receive. So they said, "You are Shabbos." What does it say about Shabbos? Because it says, "Ki kodeshu," that it is holy. Kodesh, mila b'gramai. Kodesh is a thing in itself. Shabbos, the day of Shabbat, is totally separated from all the other days of the week. It looks like a regular day. It's the same amount of time as a regular day, but the fact of the matter is that it's totally holy. It's God's day. Nevertheless, they said that there was one big tzaddik that he said that he could go outside and look and tell you what day it was. He could look at there's a Mishnah that says that if a person doesn't know what day Shabbos is, that he counts. Let's say he's on a desert island, he was knocked unconscious, and he wakes up in a boat, gets in a desert island, he doesn't know which day it is, doesn't remember how long he's been at sea, doesn't remember when he left the boat, doesn't remember anything. So it says that there's two opinions. One is that every day he has to treat like Shabbat, because it's a suffix from the Torah. And another day is every day he has to treat like Shabbat, but they can only do things that are necessary to keep his life going. And the other one is that either he determines, he says today is Shabbat, or he says he counts 6 days from the day that he is, and that seventh day he makes his Shabbat. Anyway, there was a big tzaddik, a little child. He said, "I don't understand. I look up at the sky, I can tell which day Shabbos is. I can tell. You can feel the holiness of Shabbat." It says, but most people can't, and even if they do, they can see it, but they don't feel Shabbat. Shabbat is a thing that is holy in itself. It's totally separated. Nevertheless, nimshach mikadusha the Shabbat b'yamim shel lifanav v'acharav. Nevertheless, Shabbat, even though that is totally separate from the rest of the days, it has an effect on all the days before it and after it. Dimiyom Gimel, ve'elach, that from the Wednesday and onward, who kame Shabbat is before Shabbos, the ad Yom Dalet, and until Wednesday, who bata Shabbata, it is after. So Shabbos affects the 3 days before it and the 3 days after it. That's one way of looking at it. Nosef, I'll say, in addition to the fact that Shabbat, minei nitborachim kula yomim, that from Shabbat, all the days of the next week are blessed. So the idea of Shabbat is that even though it is holy and totally separate from all the rest of the days, that's why there's all these strange laws that we have on Shabbat, that we can't light a light, and we can't write a letter, and we can't tie a knot on Shabbat. All these strange things to remind us that really something spiritual is going on that's totally in a different dimension. And even though that Shabbat is a totally different dimension, it's not just like a place where you can run away to, a fortress in the middle of the week, and it's just separated from all the days before the rest of the days are attacking the holy Shabbat. No, Shabbat is a day that has an effect on all the other days of the week. Its idea, the day of Shabbat is not just a day where you can run to and be rested, which is true, it is, but it's not only that. It's also a day that has an effect on the days that are for. Same thing, Rabbi Shimon, even though he was totally separate from all the other days, from all the other people, nevertheless, his whole purpose was to have an effect on the people. And there's another thing. Alder says also regarding to a person, even though the Shabbos is holy, the Mekiv and Shekadus Shabbos, since the holiness of Shabbos is such a high holiness, a totally different dimension of reality. Kodesh Mila Bogramai, like we said, that holiness means that it's a separate thing in itself, it's totally separated. As Ein Shayach Bo Tosefet, therefore a human being has no effect on the Shabbat. Shabbat is holy no matter what you do. You cannot defile the Shabbat. God forbid a person does not keep Shabbat. It doesn't make Shabbat less holy. But a Jew can add on to the holiness of Shabbat. Like it says, like it says, remember the holy day of Shabbat to make it. Remember the day of Shabbat to make it holy. Shabbat is already holy, isn't it? Says, yes, it is. But Ava'ad Yisrael Mosifim, the Jewish people can actually add on to the Tainug Shabbos, then add on to the pleasure and the revelation of Shabbat. Kalash and Razal, like it says, call ma'anega the Shabbat, that you can actually add pleasure to Shabbat. You can add to the revelation of Shabbat itself. So it's just like Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, even though he was totally separate from the world, but his pupils could have an effect on him. So they said, Rabbi Shimon, you are like Shabbat. You are totally separate. You're a totally different dimension to us. But on one hand, you're totally different, separate from us, but your job is to make that holiness revealed to us. And number two, we can add on to your holiness. We can have an effect on you so that you shine out to us. And that's why he praised them with Shabbat. He said, Rabbi, you are like Shabbat. We can have an effect on you and make you shine more. Why did they say that you are the face of God? We'll take a short break and we'll come right back.